everybody, and welcome into today's episode of the Top Cut Yu-Gi-Oh! Podcast. I am, of course, Sunny. I'm here with my co-host, Caleb. What's up, dude?
Nothing much, man.
We do want to take a moment to thank, of course, all of our patrons. So a huge thank you to Austin Johnson, Kane Martin, Mocha, Myth Oceana, Scuzz Daddy, AD, Aaron Gardner, Anthony Leela, Damian Zink, Mountain Man, Owen Alvarado, Pig, Cybird, Jeremy Drysdale, Ray Powell, and Sunny Sweet. Thank you to all of you. If you want to support the podcast and get your name shouted out every episode, be sure to join our Patreon. The link is in the description down below. And we do have Patreon plans starting as low as $1 to support the podcast. So thank you to everybody that is supporting through Patreon. We also ask, of course, that you follow us on Twitter and join our Discord. The links to those are in the description below. So we do have a ton to talk about today, so we're going to keep this moving on as quickly as we can. But the first thing to talk about is we do have some quick play news. We have some product delays for the first several months of the year.
Yes, Grand Creators has been delayed from January 14th to the 28th. Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1 has been delayed from the 28th to February 25th.
So Grand Creators delayed 2 weeks, so will not be legal for sure for YCS Pasadena.
Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1 delayed almost a full month.
Yep, 4 weeks.
OTS Pack 18 has been delayed from February 9th to February 23rd.
So that's what, 2 weeks?
Give or take. Speed Duel GX Dual Academy box has been delayed from February 25th to March 18th. It's about 2 weeks.
No, that's 3.
Okay. I said about 2 weeks.
Oh, well, yeah, it's 3 full weeks.
Yeah. And lastly, Structure Deck Albaz Strike has been delayed from March 11th to April 8th. Nearly
4
a full
weeks.
Yeah, nearly a full month.
So, no reasons provided, but it's...
Hold on, there's a typo. It says the year 20,000 that the Structure Deck has been delayed from March 11th, the year 20,220 to April 8th, 2022.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even notice that.
It's just a little funny thing I saw.
Yeah. But it's ongoing global supply chain issues.
Yeah.
So, and the issue acquiring the cardboard for printing, which is like the most likely reason. But
yeah.
Disappointing to have all these product delays. This just puts us further and further behind the OCG. I mean, we aren't going to get Grand Creators at this point for yet another month and a half from now.
Yeah.
And we're already talking about there's things in Grand Creators that are already getting hit on the upcoming OCG ban list,
which
that
we'll talk about
later.
Gotten. Yeah, that we'll talk about later.
Yeah.
I'm going to be disappointed if we get a ban list that's hit stuff that isn't even out yet.
Have you seen the OCG ban list yet?
Yeah, I looked at it.
Okay, so yeah, no, that's a thing. Okay. So let's go ahead and get on into the new cards. There's literally just a ton of new cards.
Yeah,
so
we kind of made the mistake of just letting this build up.
We only let it build up through one episode so we could talk about the YCS. That's the crazy part. We've gotten literally like 7 new card announcements since the last time. So
okay, Mr. Sword Soul, I think you should get the first card.
All right, so the first card is a V-Jump support. It's a V-Jump promo card. It's called Yakuza Ikazuchi no Kami. We have no idea what the English name of this is going to be, but it's a level 8 light worm effect monster, 2000 attack, 2000 defense. You can only use the second effects of this card's name once per turn. 1. You can special summon this card from your hand by banishing 1 level or rank 8 monster from your graveyard. 2. You can target 1 level or rank 8 Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, or Xyz monster in your graveyard, shuffle it into the deck, then apply this effect based on what type of monster it was. Ritual or Fusion, draw 1 card, Synchro or Xyz, this card gains 1000 attack. So, it is a worm level 8 monster, and it's kind of cool because you can special summon him from your... So he's searchable in the Sword Soul deck, and you can special summon him from your hand by, like, and if it can be a follow-up play if your Chi-Jiao gets destroyed or something, and you can banish a Chi-Jiao from your graveyard to special summon it. And then if you have a different level 8 or rank 8 monster in your graveyard, then you can special summon him. And then I don't know quite what the line would be, but if you can put this guy out really easily because he's level 8 with one of your level 8 synchros from your extra deck, and you can overlay them.
Yeah.
And make a level 8 play. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's all right. It's cool. It's cool for level 8 turbo support, rank 8 turbo support, but
Oh yeah.
I don't know that I'll actually see any play.
Note, this monster seems to be based on the Yakusanoi Ikazuchi, a collective name for the 8 deities in Japanese mythology. I hope I didn't butcher that horribly.
Yeah, I have no idea. So
yeah. Anyway, so
cool artwork though.
Oh yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. Next up, we have
Snakes, Ghost, and Baryons.
Yes,
so,
whatever that means. Okay, so
Reptile support,
Ghost Fusion, and Nash.
Yeah.
Interesting. So first off, we have Black Mamba, a level 3 Dark Reptile, 1300 attack, 1000 defense. You can only special summon with the first effect of this card's name once per turn. You can only use the second effect of this card's name once per turn. 1. If you control a reptile monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. 2. If this card is normal or special summon, target a monster your opponent controls. Send a reptile monster from your deck to your graveyard. And if you do, change the targeted monster's battle position. That's actually interesting.
It's alright. The best part about this is that it can special summon itself for free.
Yeah, it's a reptile extender. And then we have Uru Bonus, the Avatar of Malice, level 5 Dark Reptile, 2000 attack, 800 defense. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. You can tribute a reptile monster, special summon this card from your hand. Okay. Well, I guess that means you can normal summon a reptile, tribute off to special summon this thing. Why would you do that? 2. All monsters your opponent controls lose 300 attack and defense. 3. You can tribute one monster. All face a monster your opponent controls lose attack and defense equal to the tributed monster's original attack and defense till the end of this turn. It's not good. Lamia.
Go ahead.
Yeah, level 4 Dark Reptile, 1300, 1500. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a level 8 reptile monster from your deck to your hand. That's pretty good. If this card becomes banished, you can target a reptile monster you control. It cannot be shown by a card effect until the end of the next turn. That's bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are there any level 8 reptiles that we should be thinking of when we think of this?
I don't know. Go ahead and read the trap card and I'll look into it.
Probably a bunch of the Ogdoadic stuff.
Maybe.
I bet all of this is really splashable with Ogdoadic. It can be a bunch of starters for the Ogdoadic because the Ogdoadic deck, I don't really think it had much of a normal summon, which is why people were playing an Alistair Invoked Engine in it.
That's fair.
So this can give it a normal summon and then it can search stuff. I don't know. I don't know anything about Ogdoadics other than they are reptiles and that they...
And a Chaos Engine. And these are also both dark.
All 3 of them are dark, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. It could be kind of cool. So we have a trap card. Venomous Snake's Grudge. Or it could be translated to Viper's Grudge. But, it's a continuous trap card. You can only use the second and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1. Non-reptile monsters you control cannot attack or activate their effects. 2. If a reptile monster you control is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, you can special summon one level 4 or lower reptile monster from your deck. Oh, okay. Hold on 1 second. And 3, if this card in the spell and trap card zone is destroyed, you return all your banished reptile monsters to the graveyard. That's crazy. Okay, so here's the thing. The level 5 guy, you're like, why would you do this? Because, if a reptile monster you control is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard.
Oh.
So if this thing is face up on the field, you can use this guy. You can tribute a reptile from your field, special summon him.
And then you get another one out of your deck.
And then you get another one out of your deck, right?
Okay.
And then Lamia, if this is normal or special summon, you can add a level 8 from deck to hand.
Which I brought up a list. Let's see, you have Alarit, the Ogdoadic Dark, Amnesia, the Ogdoadic Queen.
Okay, so the Ogdoadics are level
King,
8.
Some of them. It's Dark, King, Queen, and Light are all level 8. Evil Dragon Anada, Go Giga Gaga Gigo.
Yeah, this is fine.
Reptilian Vasky, Supreme Sovereign Serpent of Golgonda, Venom Minion, the King of Poisonous Snakes.
This is fine reptile support.
Worm King and Queen.
Yeah, I mean, this is totally runnable.
Some card called Wicked Acolyte Chelem Sabak. Which is a level 8 you can normal summon without attributing.
I would say that all 4 of these cards are fairly playable in the Ogdoadic deck.
Oh, yeah, no, very.
I mean, it's a starter, it's an extender, it's link material.
Oh, yeah, and they also still are within archetype because they're dark reptiles.
Right.
Whereas Ogdoadics are a chaos reptile kind of style archetype.
Right, and all the levels are different, but that doesn't really matter that much, right?
Yeah, no, not at all. I wouldn't think.
Yeah. So the next card, now we're going to get into some zombie stuff. So there's like, this one page has like reptile stuff, zombie stuff, and some other stuff, and then there'll be more zombie stuff coming. So
yeah.
This one is the literal translation is Hellfire Spearman Ghost Lancer, but like the more likely translation is Ghost Lancer the Underworld Spearman. So probably based off of like other past translations that we've gotten with they've translated to. So it's a level 5 dark zombie effect monster. 2000 attack, 0 defense. 1. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. Okay, so like Cyber Dragon or whatever. 2. Cannot be destroyed by battle except with a monster special summon from the extra deck. Okay.
That's funny.
3. If this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing battle damage. Okay, but I mean,
it's funny.
It's a special summon extender.
Yeah. It's a special summon starter because it lets you get a level 5, I think.
Yeah, it is a level 5.
Yeah, it lets you get a level 5 on board because then you can just normal summon a tuner, boom, Synchro 7.
Right. Next one is Hellfire Sleeping Beauty Ghost Sleeper, or Ghost Sleeper the Underworld Sleeping Beauty is what it'll probably translate to. Level 3 dark zombie effect monster with 1300 attack, 0 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn. 1. If this card is sent to the graveyard, you can add 1 Ghost Fusion from your deck to your hand. 2. During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and discard 1 card. Then target one of your banished level 4 or higher zombie monsters and add it to your hand. So it's interesting that the last guy, he can special summon himself from the hand as many times as you want. I just realized that because he's not once per turn.
But you have to control no monsters.
Okay, yeah, I guess that's true.
That's the limiting factor.
Yeah.
Your opponent would have to somehow board wipe you and it would have to board wipe you via
like torrential or something.
Yeah, and then you can just go, okay, special summon a second one.
Yeah. No, because that would have to control a monster.
Good
torrential
point.
Wouldn't do it. Okay, well, regardless, not once per turn, so that could be interesting. And then this one, the Ghost Sleeper, the Underworld Sleeping Beauty, it's interesting because I guess you can like Foolish Burial it and add Ghost Fusion to your hand because it's sent to the graveyard.
Yeah.
And then like a different main phase, you can banish it and discard a card to return one to the hand. So I don't know. It could be interesting.
Yeah.
I'll let you.
I mean, if you get board wipe on your opponent's turn and that thing's and you can activate that effect to get back your Ghost Lancer and continue going off, maybe.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll let you go ahead and do the next one.
Okay. Okay, this one's called literally Hellfire Winged Dragon Ghost Wyvern. A more proper translation for us would be Ghost Wyvern the Underworld Dragon. Level 4 dark zombie effect monster, 1700 attack, 0 defense. They all have 0 defense, by the way, so they're all amazing Pyramid Turtle targets.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Pyramid Turtle's terrible now. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn.
I think that's like a zombie thing, though. I think like most zombie monsters have 0 defense.
Not necessarily 0 defense, but lower than average defenses. But traditionally, they have 0 defense. The traditional...
Like
zombie.
A lot of Pyros have 200.
Exactly. That's only because the classic anime zombies all had 0 defense, except Pumpkin. But Pumpkin was also meant to just kind of be a big tank. Yeah. Anyway... you can only use the first, second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Ghost Fusion from your deck to your hand.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. 2. During the end phase, if this card was banished this turn, take a level 2 or lower zombie tuner from your deck, add it to your hand, or send it to the graveyard.
Ooh.
Setting up a turn 2 play.
Plague Spreader's level 2, isn't he?
Yes. So you can put the Plague Spreader in your graveyard, the next turn, draw 1 card, stick 1 on bottom, add Plague Spreader to your hand. Or even just add them straight to your hand.
That's cool. Next card is Ghost Fusion, a normal spell card.
The spell card they kept mentioning over and over again.
Right. You can only activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. 1. Fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters you control as fusion material.
So keep in mind, this is only on field.
Right. Only zombie monsters can be used as fusion material for this effect. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can also banish one zombie monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard as material. Come on, guys! You were so close!
Hold on. However, do keep in mind that they naturally have banish recursion now built in.
Yep. Good lord.
So
why do they have to make every fusion card these days have a way to fusion summon from the main deck?
To be fair though, your opponents have to be lower than your life points have to be lower than your opponents. So unless you can burn yourself, you're not activating this turn 0. And 2,
against the Sword Soul matchup, it's like just good inherently because of Long One burning you.
Well, yeah, but that's going second. And they're going to have a bunch of negates on board anyway. And 2, it's only one of them.
Okay, yeah, sure. There's limiting factors, but like, come on.
Yeah.
This is still good.
And you can also do it from the hand as well. Let's see. Next up, we got a new spell card called Numbers Evil. I
think it's Evile.
Normal spell card. If your opponent controls a monster splash zone from the extra deck, choose 4 number monsters with different ranks in your extra deck. Add the numbers and all their names together, and special summon a number exceeds a monster from your extra deck with a number in its name equal to the result, and if you do, attach the chosen monsters to it as materials, but you cannot special summon monsters while you control it, except number exceeds monsters. This is treated as an exceed summon.
That's so hilariously dumb. This has to be an anime card.
It has to be. Hold on. So, if you reveal
1, 2, 3, and 4,
you can then special summon 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 10, whoever that is.
And then attach 1, 2, 3, and 4 as material.
Yeah. Who's number 10?
Okay, wait, hold on. There has to be some hilarious play here that we're not thinking of, where you can like add everything up to 39, special summon number 39 Utopia, and then overlay like into Draco Future and stuff. You know what I mean? Like keep
no. Okay, so with F-Zero, its materials are 2 Xyz monsters with different names, non-number Xyz monsters with different names.
There has to be a way to do it with Utopia, though, right? Isn't there a way to?
No, not in F-Zero, but you could like make 39 Utopia, overlay into Utopia the Lightning for a 5 material Utopia the Lightning.
Dude, this card's funny. I don't think it's good necessarily, but it's funny. Wait, is there a card that
make Utopia double, add double or nothing?
Yep, double.
Utopia. Double or nothing attack, and then if you didn't finish them off, make a 6 material Zeus.
There has to be a way that this is like a 1 card big Zeus like that, though, right? Like you have to be able to. What if you could go into like a huge Dragooblia because he's like number like 98 or something?
Oh my god!
Could you imagine using like number 39, number 23, number
whatever
20,
the difference
22,
is?
Yeah, and like 18 or something like that, and just like going Dragooblion? Like that would be hilarious.
Yeah, so spell card to just normal summon Dragooblion with materials attached to it.
Funny.
Let's go.
Next card is a normal trap card called Reincarnation of the 7 Emperors. If your Xyz monster that is a number monster with a number between 101 and 107 in its name, or has such a monster as material battles during damage calc, banish it and any material attached to it. Also, during the end phase of the turn, you activate this card. Special summon 1 rank 3 or lower Xyz monster from your extra deck, except a number monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. Wow. What a mouthful. That is weird. Good isn't the word. Weird is the word.
Yeah, like, why would you banish your own monster?
Well, if I had to guess, so you can activate this card, like if you're close to game, and you can...
Oh, just to burn for the... You declare an attack, and then burn for the rest of it.
Well, you special summon... Okay, so...
Because...
Yeah, you can declare an attack, use this, summon the new one, declare a new attack with the new one, and then in the end phase burn. It can finish off an opponent, but, like, it's alright.
Yeah. I understand why they're doing it specifically during the battle, during an on-attack declaration.
During damage calculation.
The reason why is so that way you can't, like, summon... like something like Leviathan that boosts his own attack to make him bigger.
I guess.
Alright, next card we have is called Seventh Arrival. The dub would probably be something like Rebirth of the Seven Emperors. Normal trap card. 1. Tribute all Exceeds monsters you control, then target one of your banished Exceeds monsters, special summon it. Then you can attach number Exceeds monsters with numbers between 101 and 107 in their names that are banished and or in your graveyard, up to the number of monsters tributed plus 1 to it as material?
That's so weird.
During the end phase of the turn you activate this card, each player takes 300 damage for each card in their hand.
It's so weird.
What?
I think the 101 to 107 stuff, I think this is all supposed to be relevant to like the shark stuff.
Yes. Okay, so because I think 101 through 107 are the Seven Emperors from the anime.
Yeah, I mean, it keeps referencing the Seven Emperors.
Yeah, because I remember, you have 1 through 100, but then, oh no, he summoned 101.
Yeah. So the next card is Exceeds Bento.
Which is like, a bento is a lunchbox for those of you who don't know.
Yeah, so it's a normal trap card. 1. If a monster your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, target one Exceeds monster you control, attach one monster from your opponent's graveyard to it as material. 2. You can banish this card from your graveyard, then target one special summoned monster from the extra deck, change its battle position. Okay, actually though, this card's unironically kind of cool.
Okay. How so?
Well, okay, so if a monster your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, target one Exceeds monster you control, attach one monster from your opponent's graveyard to it as material. So if I have this card set, and let's say I activate Zeus, I can activate Zeus, send a monster from their field to the graveyard, and that triggers the activation condition. Well, I guess this card would be sent to the graveyard too.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's say I have a Zeus on my field, right?
Mm-hmm.
And my opponent performs a link summon. So they perform a link summon, and I can chain this card in response to in resolution of the summon or whatever, because a monster was sent from their field to the graveyard. And I can take one of the monsters in their graveyard and attach it to
a Zeus.
My Zeus, or whatever, Sure.
Yeah. And then also what you can do is a response, and then go, do you have anything active in response? No? Okay, chain Zeus.
I mean, yeah.
Okay. I mean, it's alright. It's not great.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. It would be a very, very cool card in a sealed format.
Oh, absolutely.
And this is all from Premium Pack 22. Is that the Mako Tsunami pack?
I think.
I think this is all Mako Tsunami stuff. So that would be all the Reptile stuff, the Ghost stuff, and all that. So.
All right, next up, we have a whole bunch of new Witchcrafter support. And I love the way Yu-Gi-Oh! Organization put the subtitle for this. Teehee, I'm such a klutz, I fusioned. Alright, so we have a new fusion monster, Witchcrafter Vice Master.
This is a really cool looking card.
Yeah, also I just noticed she's holding hands with one of the other Witchcrafters. It's adorable. Level 8, Dark Spellcaster Fusion Effect, monster.
This is literally just Pride support.
Yeah, sure.
This is just Pride support.
Sure. That's my headcanon. 2200 attack, 2800 defense. Materials: a Witchcrafter monster and a Spellcrafter monster, or a Witchcrafter monster and a Spellcaster monster. Ugh.
Which
is near impossible for this deck. I don't know why they do that.
Aren't literally all of the Witchcrafters spellcasters?
Yes.
Oh, okay, cool. Just make sure I'm not imagining.
When a non-fusion Spellcaster monster's effect or a spell card effect is activated, quick effect, you can activate one of these effects. You can only choose each of these effects of Witchcrafter Vice Master once per turn. So that effect to choose one is once per turn, but you can only choose each effect once per turn. Destroy one card. Special summon level 6 or lower Witchcrafter monster from your hand or deck. And add a Witchcrafter spell or trap from your graveyard to your hand.
So if your opponent activates 3 spell cards in a turn, you can use all 3 of these, but you can only use each one of them once.
Yes.
So you can only destroy one card on the field once. You can only special summon one once. You can only add one once.
But you can destroy one card on the field, special summon one, and add one.
So you can do all 3, just not all at once.
Correct.
Okay.
Next up is a new spell card called Witchcrafter Confusion, which is...
This is hilarious. That's a hilarious name, by the way.
Yes. Normal spell card. You can only use the one of the first and second effects of this card names once per turn, only once that turn. That's hard once per turn.
Extra hard, because you can only use one of the effects per turn.
Yep. 1. If you summon a fusion monster from your extra deck using monsters from your hand or field as fusion material, including, let's say, Witchcrafter monster. That's not bad. 2. During the end phase, if this card is in your graveyard and you control a Witchcrafter monster, add this card to your hand.
Okay,
It
so
recurs itself.
Here's the thing, though. It can't recur itself the turn it was used.
Exactly.
And listen, I understand that I just went on a rant about making fusion cards that fuse from the main deck bad. Like, that's not good, but we're talking about Witchcrafters. You know, we're not talking about, like...
Also, what's up with the... Oh, yeah, it can recur itself
next turn,
even though you can only use one copy of it per turn anyway.
And it's during your end phase, so you can't even, like...
Use it your next turn.
Yep, you have to wait 3 turns to use it.
What's the point?
Yeah, this card's... Okay, so it's cool, and, like, the fusion monster is cool, but... I mean, it's kind of bad, unfortunately. It's cool, and they look cool, but it's kind of bad, so...
By the way, the fusion monster is actually holding hands with Witchcrafter Jenny.
Oh, is that which one it is?
Yes, because if you scroll down, there's like, here's some of their Witchcrafter cards. So and it's adorable, and I love them.
All the Witchcrafter cards, these are all being reprinted in the set that this is coming from, which was SSB1. Oh, that's the super shiny box. The one with the new Sky Striker support card.
You know what? I'm going to call this the waifu box now, because it's just full of Sky Striker Witchcrafters, which are waifus.
Yeah, so it's also going to reprint Witchcrafter Shmieta, Witchcrafter Hane, whatever, Witchcrafter Jenny, Witchcrafter Creation, Witchcrafter Demonstration, Magician's Right Hand, Magician's Left Hand, and Magician's Restage. So it'll also reprint all of that in that box if we get that box, which we probably won't, but whatever. All right, next is Return to Zombie World. All right, so we've got 2 main deck monsters, 3 synchro monsters, 1 spell, 1 trap. Would you like to have a quick little draft on the show, and you pick one, I pick one, you pick one, I pick one, and back and forth?
Nah, let's just go down the list, because there's an order. I actually read these. There's a specific orderation to the list.
I know, but like...
So do you want to start, or do you want me to start?
But what I'm saying is, you choose which ones you want, and I'll choose which ones I want, and we read them, and we'll still read them in order.
Oh, okay, sure.
So you choose which one you want first.
Cards 2, 3...
Oh, well, you pick one at a time, I pick one at a time.
Okay,
Come on. Yes. It's a draft.
Okay, so card 2.
Okay, you get card 2. I want 4.
I want 3.
Give me 6.
Is that the spell card?
Yeah.
Okay. Then I will take 1.
I'll take 5, and you can have 7.
Yep.
Okay, so you get 1, 2, 3. I get 4, 5, 6, and you get 7.
Yep.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, first off, we have Mad Murder. They're going to rename this card.
Yeah, we don't know what they're going to rename it to, but there's no way they leave it as Mad Murder in the TCG.
It is a level 2 Dark Zombie Tuner effect monster. Level 4.
This is all coming in Dimension Force.
Yes.
The core set after...
Battles of Chaos.
Yeah.
400 attack, 200 defense. It is a level 2 Dark Zombie Tuner. You know what that means.
It's basically Plague Spreader.
You can only use this card's second effect of this card's name once per turn. This card's name becomes Plague Spreader while face up on the field or in the graveyard.
I swear, I haven't read any of these cards yet. I do not know what any of these cards do. This is my first time reading them.
Every level 2 Zombie Tuner has that stipulation that while on field or in grave, they are considered Plague Spreader because all the original zombie synchros
require Plague Spreader.
All required Plague Spreader.
That's really funny. I didn't realize that. It did not even register to me. That's funny.
2. If this card is in your graveyard, you can target a level 6 or higher monster you control. Decrease this level by 2, and if you do, special summon this card, but you cannot special summon monsters while it is face up in the monster zone, except zombie monsters.
I mean, that's fine.
Oh no! But hold on. Level 6 or lower will let you immediately synchro summon whatever level the original monster was. So
you can either go into another one if there's like a level 6 that's like a soft once per turn or something.
Exactly.
Okay, or you could use this to synchro climb.
Exactly. By, level reducing something and then synchroing
right.
with this other new card, Al Ghul Mazra. This is a zombie version of, I looked it up earlier.
Zera the Man.
Not Zera the Mant, but it's the guy that Zera the Mant came from.
Zera the...
Heavenly.
It's like an old vanilla, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was like something the Mant. I don't remember.
Zera the Mant.
Yeah, just look it up. Just look up Zera the Man and then go down through the trivia. Anyway, level 8, Earth Zombie Effect Monster, 2000 attack, 2300 defense. You can only use the first and second effect of this card's name each once per turn. If a zombie monster you control will be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can banish this card from your hand or graveyard instead. 2. If this card becomes banished from your hand or graveyard, you can special summon in defense position, but then you can decrease its level by 1.
Warrior of Zera.
That's it. Thank you. It's a zombie version of that dude. But hold on. If your zombie will be destroyed, you banish him, but then his other effect triggers, bringing him back as a level 7.
Okay, so this is gonna sound so bad, but I was looking that up and I didn't read this at all. If some monster you control be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can banish the card from your graveyard instead. Okay, cool. I mean, that's cool.
But hold on. Red Eye's Undead Dragon Lord, which would be translated to Red Eye Zombie Dragon Lord. Level 10, 2000 attack, 2400 defense. It's a zombie's Red Eye's Darkness Metal.
Yeah.
It's not its effect, though. Materials, a zombie tuner plus 1 or more non-tuners. You can only use this card's first and second effects each once per turn. During your opponent's turn, quick effect, you can target a zombie monster in your graveyard, except itself, special summon it. 2. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish a zombie you control, special summon it. This card.
Yo, that's not bad, right?
I mean, it's a 2800 level 10 that can just recur itself over and over.
I mean, that's cool.
But then also in your opponent's turn, you get another zombie back on your field.
Yeah.
Which is less than ideal, but...
But I think it'll probably pair with the next card, right?
Hold on. I saw something silly.
Okay.
Zombie World's on the field. All cards in the graveyards are zombies.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, did it say your graveyard or either graveyard?
In your graveyard.
Okay. IP Masquerade in your graveyard is now also a zombie.
Oh, that's funny.
Special summon IP Masquerade.
And perform a link. Oh, that's funny. You're right. You're just right. Yeah.
Because it's a zombie, because Zombie World's on the field.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, next card is Corpse Dragon Lord Felgrand. So obviously this is either Felgrand Dragon or Divine Knight Dragon Felgrand guy. The rank 8 guy. Divine Dragon Lord Felgrand, something like that.
The retrain.
Yeah. Level 8 Light Zombie Synchro Effect Monster, 2800 attack, 2000 defense.
Ooh, a light zombie.
Yep.
You don't see those very often.
Nope. Materials, 1 zombie tuner, 1 or more non-tuner monsters. You can use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. If this card is special summoned, you can target 1 monster your opponent controls or in their graveyard, banish it. 2, if a monster is special summoned from the graveyard while this monster is face up on the field, you can target 1 face up monster on the field except this card, negate its effects until the end of the turn.
Oh, that's pretty good.
That could be a good board breaker card.
Well, I mean, your opponent has to... Oh, never mind. Just even if you special summon... So if Red Eye's Darkness... So if the Red Eye's Zombie Dragon Lord's effect activates, you can then use this card to negate something on your opponent's field.
Yeah.
Which is kind of silly. I like it. I like it. It's cool.
All right, next card is Immortal Dragon. It's a
zombie coral dragon.
Oh, it definitely is. You're right.
Yeah.
Level 6 Dark Zombie Synchro Tuner Effect Monster. 500 attack, 2400 defense. Materials is 1 tuner, 1 or more non-tuners. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1. During the main phase, you can send 1 zombie monster from your deck to your graveyard, and if you do, this card's level becomes the difference between its original level and the sent monsters. So, if you use this effect to send the Mad Murder...
It becomes level 2 tuner.
No, it becomes level 4.
Level 4 tuner,
because it becomes the difference.
Okay, yeah.
But I mean, just being able to bin any zombie monster from your deck is awesome. I mean, you could bin not Doom King Baldarok, the other one.
Necroworld Banshee?
Yeah, and just activate Zombie World.
Yep.
2, when your zombie monster is destroyed by battle while this card is in your graveyard, you can special summon this card, but banish it when it leaves the field. That could have application, I guess.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hold on. I just saw something else. So your turn, you went full combo, and you're able to synchro summon Corpse Dragon Lord Felgrand and the Red Eye Zombie Dragon Lord. During your opponent special summons a monster, right? Let's say they normal summon. Let's say they normal summon. Let's say it's Tri Brigade. They normal summon a Tri Brigade monster with materials engraved. You go, quick effect, activate Dragon Lord, special summon a zombie out of my graveyard. Effective Felgrand, negate. I just thought of that.
Yeah.
Let you do it during your opponent's turn.
All right, the next card is Zombie Reborn. Is a normal spell card. You can only use one of the first and second effects of this card's name once per turn, and only once that turn. So it is a very hard once per turn. So one of these effects per turn. Target one zombie monster in either graveyard. Banish one monster with the same name from your deck or extra deck, and if you do, special summon the targeted monster. 2, if this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle one of your banished zombie monsters into the deck, and if you do, set this card to your field, but banish it when it leaves the field. That's alright.
Yeah, it's not terrible.
And the mirror match, it's broken.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Next card is yours.
Hold on. With Zombie World, all things in the graveyard are also zombies, right?
Yeah.
So let's say your opponent has, I don't know.
So, like, theoretically, this deck can hit level 10, and because it can hit level 10, you can summon a Baron de Fleur if you have one in your extra deck.
Yeah. So you could theoretically, like, let's say you added your opponent's Baron de Fleur, and you're like, I don't want them getting that back somehow. You can banish theirs, and then banish the one in your, because it's a zombie.
No, you would banish yours and then special summon it to your field. Special summon theirs to your field.
There you go. So really, at that point, because Zombie World, everything becomes a zombie. You can start running just random stuff in your extra deck that's just like, this would be great for me to have.
And the thing about Baron de Fleur is, if you special summon it back from the graveyard, it's once while this card is face up on the field, so you still have a negate.
Exactly. So...
Interesting.
Yeah, it's like there's still a reason to run Baron de Fleur and then never synchro summon it, just to run that card.
Yeah, but, like, you can still synchro summon it.
You can still naturally synchro summon it, yeah. But just as an example, because everything in the graveyard becomes zombies while Zombie World's on the field,
right.
you can do a lot of manipulation with that.
Yeah.
Lastly, we have the trap card, Haunted Undead, which would be translated to something like Haunted Zombie. Yeah. Normal trap card. You can only use one of the first and second effect of this card's name once per turn, and only once that turn. 1, banish a zombie monster that has a level from either graveyard, and if you do, you get 2 haunted tokens, which are zombie, dark, 0 attack, 0 defense, with the same level as that monster. Okay. 2, if this card is in your graveyard, you can shuffle one of your banished zombie monsters in the deck, and if you do, set this card to your field, but banish it when it leaves the field.
That's like, alright.
Yeah. Hold on. Activate this, get your 2 tokens, they're level 2. Normal summon, Mad Murder, sync 6.
Yeah.
Or they're level 3, sync 8.
Right.
Or they're level 4, synchro 10.
That's pretty good.
Yep.
All right, next we have
a trap card.
Some more cards from Dimension Force. This is Heroics. The guy, I guess one of the anime characters, Gauche or Nistro, or I don't know. But
the man among men, Gauche gains new support from his true deck, Heroics.
Right.
Aha!
So this is all Heroic Challenger support. Which
Heroic Champion being all the extra deck monsters.
Right, so is this like Heroic Champion Excalibur and stuff?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So first card is Heroic Challenger Knuckle Knife. Level 1 Earth Warrior effect monster, 600 attack, 200 defense. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1, if you control a heroic monster except a level 1 monster, you can special summon this card from your hand. 2, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one warrior monster you control. The level of that monster or this card becomes the level of the other, but you cannot declare attacks for this turn except with Xyz monsters. That's very good.
That's very good for the deck.
Yeah. 2, the next card is Heroic Challenger Morningstar. Level 4 Earth Warrior effect monster, 1500 attack, 1300 defense. You can only use the first, second, and third effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1, if you control two or more warrior monsters, you can special summon this card from your hand. Oh, God. That's a generic warrior extender. 2,
yep.
If this card is normal or special summon, you can add one heroic spell or trap from your deck to your hand. And 3, if this card is in your graveyard and you have 500 life points or less, you can special summon this card, but its effects are negated.
So about that 500 life points or less part, Heroic Champion Clom Solias, I think.
I think it's Cleom Solias.
Maybe. It's Welsh. It's weird. 2500 attack, 2000 defense, level 4 light warrior.
That's Welsh.
The MH.
Okay. I'm just going to choose to believe you.
That's what I'm guessing. Anyway, materials. 2 level 4 warrior monsters. Oh no, that's near impossible. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. A monster's opponent control cannot target other monsters for attacks. 2. Here's the 500 life point part. You can pay life points so that you only have 500 left. At the start of the battle phase this turn, the attack of one face-up monster you control is doubled.
Nice.
Permanently.
Oh, true.
When an attack is declared involving an opponent's monster, detach 1 from this card, target one face-up monster your opponent controls. This card gains attack equal to that monster's until the end of the turn.
OTK.
Here we go. Clown Solias is a legendary sword of light that appears throughout Celtic and Irish folklore, so it is Welsh.
Okay.
Myth and legend, and might be the basis for Excalibur.
Okay. All right. You get the next one, because I'm not going to try to pronounce that.
Rank 1, Heroic Champion. Give me a second. Yarn Grepper.
Yeah, that sounds right to me.
Rank 1, Light Warrior. 700 attack, 1800 defense. Materials, 2 level 1 monsters. Hey!
Level 1 warrior monsters.
Level 1 warriors. But hey, guess what? They can level modulate. You can only use the second and third effect of this card's name each once per turn. 1. The first time each warrior monster you control will be destroyed by a battle or card effect this turn, it is not each warrior.
Yeah.
Ugh. You can attach 2 materials from this card, then target a level or rank 4 warrior monster in your graveyard. Special summon. And if you do, this card gains attack equal to that monster's original attack. That's cool. When an attack is declared involving an opponent's monster, you can gain life points equal to half its attack.
Hey, that's not bad.
So you drop your life points 500, then you slowly regain them back.
Yeah.
Yarn Grepper are gloves or gauntlets used by Thor to allow him to wield Mjolnir, possibly due to the incredible short length of the hammer's handle.
Next is a normal spell card called Heroic Envoy. You can only use the first and second effects of this card's name each once per turn. 1. Add 1 heroic monster from your deck to your hand. 2. If you have 500 life points or less, you can banish this card from your graveyard, then target 1 heroic card in your graveyard and add it to your hand. So, if you activate this card and then activate the Clown Solias, then you can use this card in your graveyard that turn.
Which is interesting. But again, you're also putting yourself into
500 life point range.
Yeah, which I think is dead, which I think is lethal from from literally any burn card that is normally run right now.
Yep.
Which is unfortunate. Next up, we have some support that I never thought we would ever get.
Yep. It's time for Symphonic Warriors to go full pendulum and full synchro. So we have about 4 Symphonic Warrior cards.
Yeah, let's see. We have
You do the first 2, I'll do the second 2.
Yeah. Symphonic Warrior Guitarist. Level 3 Wind Machine Pendulum Tuner Effect Monster. Man, that's a mouthful for its typing.
I just didn't want to read the pendulum cards.
Fair. 1100 attack, 500 defense, pendulum scale 0. Amazing pendulum scale, actually.
That's pretty good.
You can only use this card's name's pendulum effect once per turn. 1. You can target 1 other Symphonic Warrior card you control. Return that card and this card to your hand. I don't know why you would do... Oh, to reset scales.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Monster effect. You can only use this card's first and second monster effects once per turn each. If Simp Amplifier is in your field zone, you can special summon this card from your hand. There you go. If this card is normally special summon, you can target 1 card in your pendulum zone, return to the hand. Symphonic Warrior DJs. Level 4 Wind Machine Pendulum Effect Monster. 1200 attack, 1200 defense. Pendulum scale 8. You can only use Pendulum Effect. You can only use this card's name's second Pendulum Effect once per turn. 1. Once per turn, you can change position of 1 face-down defense position Symphonic Warrior monster to face-up defense position. 2. If a Symphonic Warrior monster effect is activated, you can special summon this card from your pendulum zone. Pretty good. You can only use this card's name's monster effect each once per turn. 1. If this card is normal or special summon, you can special summon a Symphonic Warrior from your deck in face-down defense position except itself. If you control Simp Amplifier in your field zone, you can instead special summon a Symphonic Warrior from your deck except itself. But its effects are negated. Interesting. Next up is you. Looks like you're on the Rita Pendulum Monster.
Oh, Lord. One with a lot of text. Whew. All right. So Sound Warrior Rocks, or Symphonic Warrior Rocks. Level 7 Wind Machine Synchro Pendulum Effect Monster. 2500 attack, 1500 defense with a pendulum scale of 10. Pendulum Effect. You can only use this card names Pendulum effect once per turn. 1. During the standby phase, you can add 1 Pendulum monster from your face-up extra deck to your hand. 2. When your opponent's monster declares an attack, you can destroy that monster and this card. Monster effect. Materials, 1 tuner, 1 or more non-tuners. You can only use this card's name first and second monster effects once per turn each. 1. If this card is special summoned, you can add 1 Pendulum monster to your face-up extra deck to your hand. 2. If you control Synth Amplifier in your field zone, you can destroy 1 card on the field. And 3. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect in the monster zone, you can place this card in your Pendulum zone. So that would be the same as every other extra deck Pendulum monster. It adds itself to the zone.
Yeah.
Next is Dress Rehearsal, a continuous spell card. You can only use this card's name's second and third effects once per turn each. 1. Each time the effect of a Symphonic Warrior card is activated, place 1 Symphonic counter on this card when that effect resolves. 2. You can remove 3 Symphonic counters from your field, add 1 Symphonic Warrior monster from your deck to your hand. 3. If you normal or special summoned a Symphonic Warrior monster, you can add 1 Symph Amplifier from your deck to your hand. I mean, that's pretty good, right? This?
Oh yeah, no, that's actually pretty. That's actually not too bad. It's a fairly solid, rogue strategy. Now,
I mean, yeah, it'll be a fun rogue strategy, and it's pendulum stuff. There you go, Triff.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. So before we continue on, let's take a moment to talk about our sponsor.
Good move, because I am not the greatest at always remembering ad reads. So
That's cool. That was also the last of the new cards anyway.
Right. So, of course, a huge thank you to our sponsor, ETB Games in Alexandria, Louisiana. ETB Games is our locals, and they choose to support us, which we are very thankful for. So, if you are interested in ETB Games, you can, of course, shop from them online through the link in the description below. Also, you can find them on TCG Player. And, of course, if you are within 3 to 4 hours of Alexandria, Louisiana, I would absolutely recommend that you come and check out the ETB Battle City Day at the shop on December the 18th, which is so...
That's this Saturday, y'an.
Right. So this will be...
As of episode release.
Right. So this will be an advanced format tournament, basic rules, 40-minute rounds, all that.
Standard Yu-Gi-Oh!
Right. It will be a half case tournament unless we get 40 people, in which case it will be a full case tournament, and it is $20 entry.
Mm-hmm.
There will also be prizing there's prizing for top 8, as well as there will also be separate prizing for people that bubble and things like that, entry prizing, OTS packs, things like that. So it is definitely well worth the time to come in, check it out, and play it out.
And hey, you're good to meet us.
There you go.
And we'll be there.
Right. We should be recording a live podcast episode at the event. I also want to take a minute right here before we go into the OCG ban list. I want to take a minute to talk about the Remote Duel YCS that just concluded. So I played in the North American Remote Duel YCS, which is not concluded yet. They are currently playing out the last couple of rounds of Swiss, as well as Top Cut. So they're only going to play out top 32, but the EU YCS, they played out all the way through finals already.
Jesus.
Yeah, so the EU finals just went ahead and they finished the whole tournament. They didn't split it up like the American YCS is, which I think is honestly better, just to get it all done and out the way.
Yeah.
That way we don't have YCS results pending when the new ban list drops.
Yeah.
So the winner of this YCS for the EU was Sword Soul Tenyi, which is not unexpected. It is a good deck.
I mean, we predicted it would be either Bird Up or Sword Soul Tenyi.
Right. And top 4 was Sword Soul Tenyi, Bird Up, Invoke Dogmatica Shadal, and then a weird one. B Trooper.
What?
B Trooper made finals of the YCS.
That makes me think of that one movie with Nicolas Cage.
Bees! Bees!
Not
bees!
the bees!
Right. You know, and really, when you think about it, how do I say this? When you think about it, a bee, like according to all known laws of aviation, there's no way a bee should be able to top a YCS.
But they did.
Its wings are too small to get its fat little body out of round 1.
Oh
The
my
bee, of
God.
course, tops anyway because bees can summon DPE. The deck was literally just like DPE turbo.
Yeah. But
I mean, whatever works, right?
Yeah, I guess.
It was really interesting to see it go, though. It really was. So bees did get second at the YCS. It was Herman Hansen actually piloting the deck. If anybody knows who Herman Hansen is, he is a high-level player. I played in the American Remote to YCS. I did play Sword Soul Tenyi. I've posted my round-by-round breakdown as well as my full results and my deck list on our Twitter account if you want to find that. Round 1, I played against Cubics. I won, but it did go to game 3 because I lost game 1 because I wasn't exactly prepared for Cubics. But game 2, I made him go first and he didn't have anything to do. And then game 3, he made me go first, but I had a bunch of interruptions. So, round 2, I played against Fluanderies. Game 1, he went first. No, I went first. He de-shifted me and I couldn't really play.
That's rough.
Yeah, and so he won game 1. Game 2, I won because I set up a board. I set up my board and I just negated his stuff and I just won. And game 3, he went first and he was able to do a lot, but I was able to interrupt some stuff and then he de-shifted me. And so he ended up winning that.
That's also rough.
Yeah. Round 3, I played against Fluanderies again. And he immediately went into Duality Prosperity. By the way, I got Duality Prosperity 4 out of my 5 games against Fluanderies.
Jesus.
Yes, and they were all main decking Dark Rulers, and they were main decking D-Shifters, and D-Shifter's a hell of a card. So
yeah,
I got 2-0'd by this Fluanderies player.
Oh yeah, I'm fully aware on how good D-Shifter is.
Yeah. Round 4, I played against Eldritch. I 2-0'd him. Game 1, he went first, but I was able to kind of just navigate what he did, and he didn't really have much else to do. And game 2, I remember, was kind of an interesting game state because he went first. He normal summoned Ecclesia. I ashed. And then he set 3 and I passed. Oh, I remember what happened game 1. I went first and I set up board. And he started by activating Eldritch, sending Eldritch and another one. Or he activated Prosperity first.
Mm-hmm.
Or Duality, not Prosperity. He activated Duality. I ashed.
One of them.
Yeah. All I had seen was Duality. And I was like, I swear, if I'm playing against Flunder a 3rd round in a row. So he activated Duality. I ashed. The important thing is because I ashed the Duality, he still can't special summon.
Mm-hmm. Because the way it's worded.
Right. Because I didn't negate the activation. So he activated Eldritch in hand, sending my back row, because I had set 1 back row. It was a cross-out designator. I said, well, that's fine. I'm not going to Baron negate that. He can have the cross-out designator. Yeah. So then he sets 1. He activates Eldritch Engrave, sends it, adds Eldritch to hand, and tries special summon. And then we had a minute where we were trying to figure out. I was like, no, you can't special summon because I ashed your Duality. Mm-hmm. I didn't negate the activation. So we came to the conclusion that he cannot special summon there, which was correct. We called a judge to make sure.
Yeah.
And so at that point, he looks at it and he was just like, he's like, I'm way too far behind in advantage. I've only got like 1 card left or 2 cards left. He's like, there's just no way. And he just passed. And we just went to game 2. And game 2 was weird because like he normal summoned Ecclesia. I ashed. He set 3 back row. And I just had gas in my hand. And I was able to play through the back row because I was able to do 10 stuff to get up into my board. And just like, I just had more than enough to put him on basically like 1 card left in hand. And he just like conceded. He was like, yeah, this just isn't my day. And then round 5, I played against Dino and he 2-0'd me. But there was like 30 to 40 minute delays between literally every round. And I was really tired. It started at noon for us. And it was like it was like after 7 o'clock. when we're finishing up round 5.
Yeah.
And I was really tired. And I made some misplays in round 5 against a Dino player. He activated Fossil Dig. He literally opened his first turn against my full Sword Soul board by going, okay, Destiny draw, and drew a card. And then he shuffled his hand a little bit, activated Fossil Dig. And I was thinking about it, I was like, okay, well, if he searches the Oviraptor, then I ash the Oviraptor. And then I have Baron on field to negate Misk if he chains Misk. I was like, so that's fine. So, but then he searches Misk. Because I wasn't gonna ash the Fossil Dig. I was gonna ash the Oviraptor. That way I could negate Misk. But then he searches Misk, special summons Pank, and activates Pank, targeting my Baron. Well, I Baron negate. He says, okay, that's fine, chain Misk. Okay, that's fine. The Dino Escort Pankratops is in the graveyard. Misk won't protect it. My Baron still negates. I get to keep my Baron at least.
Mm-hmm.
And then he activates Misk in grave, specials Archosaur, and I activate my Chi Jiao on field to negate Archosaur, forgetting that he had literally just Miscellaneosaurus. So he says, okay, and then starts resolving it. And I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? He was like, I just resolved Misk. I don't know why you tried to negate that. I was like, because I forgot about the Misk. And then I was so tilted that I didn't activate my Forbidden Droplet on any of his scrap stuff when he was doing the scrap stuff. Even though most of the scraps are like dragons and like Scrap Wyvern is a dragon and then machines and stuff.
Yeah.
I could have done a whole lot more than I did, but whatever. So I went ahead and dropped after I lost to him. Game 2 was just an uneventful. I couldn't really do much because I bricked. So, and then I had some interruptions to stop him, but UCT is big and he just kept hitting me with UCT. So.
Yeah, there's not much you can do there.
Yeah, so that was my YCS report.
I didn't enter as I didn't have the $20.
Yeah, so.
Mom didn't feel like spending $20.
Right. And then the last thing to talk about here is the January 1st, 2022 Forbidden and Limited List changes for the OCG. So we do have quite a few changes here. First of all, from Unlimited to Banned is Fusion Destiny. Whew, I guess they are just not okay with DPE being as strong as it is over there.
Yeah. Keep in mind, this was the only card that got banned.
Yes. So limited, from 3 to 1, we have the Phantom Knights of Torn Scales. From 3 to 1, we have Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo. And from 2 to 1, we have Crossout Designator. So Designator gets limited, makes sense. It's a powerful card. It impacts the metagame heavily. Prank Kids Meow Meow Moo, that makes a lot of sense. Brave Token Prank Kids and Brave Token PK were two of the best decks over there. So Torn Scales and Meow Meow Moo getting limited makes a lot of sense.
Also, Crossout Designator also messes with deck building too.
Yeah.
Because then you start running random one of ham traps just so you have the target.
Right. Semi-limited from 3 to 2 is Rite of Aramesia, and from 3 to 2 is Aquamancer of the Sanctuary. Those are Brave Token cards, so I guess they're trying to hit the consistency of the Brave Token engine some, which makes sense. From 1 to 2 is Altergeist Multifaker. From 3 to 2 is Sword Soul Emergence, and from 1 to 2 is Metaverse. So Multifaker, they don't mind buffing Altergeist since they're not really doing much. Sword Soul Emergence hitting the consistency of the Sword Soul engine a little bit, which is fine because they weren't doing like a ton over there. And Metaverse going to 2 is weird, but I guess if you want it's a trap realistically.
Yeah.
I guess it's fine. It's really slow. It's strong, but it's slow. And then Performapal, Skullcrobat Joker, Scapegoat, Red Eyes, Darkness Metal Dragon, and Soul Eating Oviraptor all went from 2 to 3. Makes sense. Red Eyes, Darkness Metal Dragon is semi-limited. Oviraptor is at 3. It's errated. Oviraptor at 3 is at 3 over here, and it's fine. Scapegoat's kind of weird and risky, but hey, do what you want to do. And Performapal, Skullcrobat Joker is not doing anything, so.
Yeah.
Everything here makes a lot of sense. It's kind of weird that if they wanted to hit the Brave Token engine, that they semi-limited 2 of the cards rather than just like limiting them. But
to be fair, I think you have to hard draw your token package, your Brave Token package.
I don't know. I don't know how the package works. Yeah. I'm just gonna be honest.
Because I'm pretty sure that that spell card, the Yeah, Rite of Artemisia is what gets you your token to begin with.
Yeah, but still, I'm sure some of it's searchable. It's only like a 7-card engine, I think.
Something like that.
So, okay, well, that'll wrap us up for today's episode. All we have left to do is the podcast question of the day. So, the previous podcast question of the day was, what deck do you think will win the YCS? We did get some cool answers. So in the Discord server, we got some answers of Lyreless Tri-Brigade, Phantom Knights, Sword Soul, Trap Eldritch, Pure Heroes, more Lyreless Tri-Brigades, Sword Soul. And then on our Twitter page, we got wild cards. So let's say Madolche. That's cool. Bird Ups, more Bird Up, Virtual World. Shiggy said Sir Emanon and Penguins.
Yeah.
He did do pretty well, but he didn't
Yeah.
he didn't make day 2.
With Penguins of all decks.
Yeah. And then somebody said Pure Sword Soul or Machine FTK, which was a very funny answer. So yeah, that's it. And then today's podcast question of the day is, what is one card that you would like to see banned on the upcoming TCG ban list? So if you want to answer that question, go ahead and reply to the podcast question of the day, either in the Discord server or on Twitter. And then that leads us into our closing little thing. Please be sure to check out our Patreon page if you are so willing. Be sure to check us out on Discord. Be sure to check out our Twitter page at Top Cut Podcast. Be sure to check out Team Dark Arm Dealings. Their link will be in the description below. They are our sister channel from Locals on YouTube. Be sure to check out the ETB Games, our sponsor. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, be sure to leave us a rating and review. We do read all of our good reviews out on the podcast. So if you want to hear your review read on the podcast, this is your opportunity. And if you're on Spotify, please be sure to give us a follow. That way you get updates and notifications whenever we post new episodes. Although we do post new episodes every Tuesday and Friday, as well as Patreon episodes every Wednesday. So thank you all so much for listening to today's episode of the podcast. Tune in next time.
Take care, everyone.